Hi there, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and no, I'm not late. This is my new time, 11 a.m. It's given me an extra half hour to get ready for you and my recipes for tinned and jarred fish. I promise new recipes for old standbys next on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Welcome, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Welcome to my restaurant in Coral Gables called Señora Martinez. Are you used to the new time for SoFlo Taste yet? Well, I hope you are, because I moved to 11 o'clock Saturday mornings. And if you're expecting SoFlo Home Project, well, stay with me for the next half hour, and I will deliver you to Elena Capra and SoFlo Home Project. This is just part of all the big going on around here on Local 10, the local station. All that aside, let's get back to the food. So, for lunch or dinner, do you ever find yourself just opening a tin of sardines or anchovies or tuna? Well, you come to the right place, because today I'll give you some recipes that you'll still need to open up that tin, but you'll be able to raise the level of its deliciousness. So let's get cooking. So the first dish I'm going to make is something that I've kind of concocted in my head. So the first thing I'm going to do is make some pickled chilies. To make pickled chilies, here I have some Fresnos that have been seeded and just sliced really nice and thin, and they are sitting in a bowl of ice, just like so. In this pot, I'm going to heat up. Apple cider vinegar seems to be, I think, my favorite go-to, because I always use it for pickles. And I think it's probably because it has a nice mellow flavor. So to the vinegar, I'm going to add some sugar to balance it out, a little bit of salt to balance it out, and then a couple of bay leaves and some black peppercorns. I'm going to put this on the heat real quick, just allowing everything to melt, and then I'll pour that in there. Today, I decided on 3 different types of tinned fish. One is anchovy. We'll use that in a minute. The other is a gorgeous jarred tuna. Use that a little later. But we're going to start out with sardines. Sardines are filled with protein. I find them absolutely delicious. I love the spicy ones. Just make sure it's a really good quality product that you love. This is a jar of a mini sardine that I hadn't tasted yet, but I love smaller sardines. What I'm going to do is grab a small plate and see what these are like. Yeah, these are gorgeous, because you can see all the sardines. Honestly, I love them like this, but I'm going to show you a dish that takes it even further. This is going to be a bruschetta with burrata and beautiful tinned sardines. So take your favorite bread. This was ciabatta. I'm going to use some butter on this one. It's not my normal go-to for this kind of a dish. This would be a little more Mediterranean, but I decided that I love bread and butter so much, and my dad used to make me, don't gross out when I say this, sardine sandwiches on soft white bread and butter. Whatever I'm feeling like I need a little protein, sardine is what I eat. And then I'm going to top that off with a little bit of garlic. And as this cooks, it's just going to make a really yummy garlic toast. So I'm just going to put a little bit of crunchy salt on here and give me like a 350 until golden. So let's check out how the pickle is doing. All right, so this has all come to a boil. Let's make sure that everything has melted. Pour that in there. And that is, believe it or not, how you make a pickle. Once this cools, it's ready to go. Obviously, the longer it sits, the more it has flavor, right? I have pickles that I've made just like this for my husband, because he loves pickled chilies, that have been in my fridge for the last 6 months, and they're just even better than ever. So let's let that sit for just a moment. And then the last ingredient we need is just some burrata. I'm going to go get that. I'm going to go get my bread. I'll meet you here in just a minute. Come right back, because I've got more for SoFlo Taste on the one and only Local 10.
Come back to the Goya Kitchen, Chef Michelle and the food. This is SoFlo Taste.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and I'm taking what some might turn up their noses at and making it delicious, good food. All right, so I have this gorgeous kind of a bruschetta toast that we made. It has a touch of butter and a little bit of garlic that melted, and as you can see, toasted right on it. I have burrata cheese that I'm going to be cutting in half. I might have to even cut it in quarters. I think I'm going to do that. So let's put a quarter piece of burrata on each piece of toast, like so. I know it's a little untraditional to do a sardine on this, but I know it's just going to be delicious. And it's kind of like making the sardine into something a little bit more upscale and creative. All right. So now we'll take a beautiful sardine. Let's take some of these, place it right on top, like so. And if you haven't ever had a sardine, I recommend you taste one on its own. Just make sure it's a nice, good one. We got all of these sardines today at Milam's Markets, and they really are beautiful. Now I'm gonna just touch it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a little touch of black pepper, and remember I taught you how to pickle a chili? Well, those chilies are ready. I'm just gonna place a little slice right over each bruschetta. And I don't know about you, but to me this looks absolutely delicious. If you want to throw a little salt on there, you can throw a little crunchy salt. And how yummy does this look? Okay, so that is our first dish using tin fish. Let's jump right into our next one. This is probably my absolute favorite thing, I think, of all. In French, it's called an anchoyade, but we're actually gonna call it a bagna càuda, okay? It's an Italian style of making an anchovy sauce, and it is one of the most incredible things. You can eat it with, I've made here a platter of crunchy vegetables, but you can also have it with just some bread crisps. It's an amazing palate and hunger opener, if I may say that. It makes me hungry and it's delicious, so let's get started. So we're gonna take a small saucepan and add a good amount of, this is like an everyday, not too expensive olive oil. Now, there's two ways of making the bagna càuda or anchoyade. You can either put it in a blender or not. So I'm gonna opt to not put it in a blender, but I am going to keep it a little more traditional today. So this is garlic going in there. I'm gonna put that on the stove and allow that to get nice and hot. Now, we do not want it to get dark. So I'm gonna squeeze some lemons, a good amount of lemons, probably about 4 whole lemons. So for the bagna càuda, we have some chopped up anchovies. So I brought a lot of different kinds of anchovy today. Some have a Calabrian chili in it, which makes it a little spicy, which we could have used today, which probably would have been really delicious. I've never made a spicy bagna càuda, but it's really yummy. There's a lot of different quality levels of anchovy, and you just have to find your favorite. Obviously, they go into Caesar dressing. I always add one when I braise meats, like ossobuco. All right, I think we have enough lemon juice. Let's put this here. So our garlic has just started to soften up a little bit and become fragrant. So now is when I'm going to add the chopped up anchovies to it. I'm going to start mixing it just a little bit and put it right on the stove. All right, so this has heated and combined beautifully together. I wish you could smell this because it's really, I know it's anchovy, and you can smell the anchovy, the fish, but it smells so good. It almost smells like the Mediterranean. So to finish this off, we're gonna add lemon juice to it, but you don't want to overwhelm it because everything has to balance really well. We're going to add butter to it. I know that sounds odd, right? But this is the traditional way of making this sauce. And again, you can put it in a blender if you want to. But my favorite way is just doing it with all the little bits as it is. And as this comes together, I'll add chopped parsley. Let's give it a taste, make sure it has everything it needs. I love it with a piece of radicchio. So good like this. The bitterness and, you know, the fish from the anchovies so good together. Oh my goodness. This is so good. For those of you that have never heard about it, it might sound weird. So good. It makes me so happy. Oh. Okay. Let's pour that out. Place it on this beautiful platter with all of these gorgeous veggies. You can dip in your bread, have a party with it. Oh, you all have to try this. Oh, so good. Come right back. I got one more for you on my SoFlo Taste Roadshow from Coral Gables, sponsored by Goya and Milam's Markets. Stay tuned to SoFlo Taste. We'll be right back.
It's a Milam's Markets Minute. Here's Melinda Harper.
Christy, it is summertime in South Florida.
You know what that means.
Bikini time.
No, grilling time.
Grilling time, of course.
Yes, and we have so many options to grill. If you want something pre-done, we have marinated skirt steak, which is delicious, kebabs, prime steaks, and we have some delicious tomahawk steaks. I don't know if you've ever cooked a grilled tomahawk before.
I haven't had the opportunity.
It is not as intimidating as you think, but it is delicious, especially with a group of people. If you can eat the whole thing yourself,
Which I can.
amazing.
Right?
But if you want something smaller, I mean, we have New York strips as well, prime, so that's a lot of marbling for a really juicy steak. We have everything you need for grilling, including seasonings, vegetables, beverages to pair. You can come on out to one of our 6 stores in South Florida to check out our summer grilling selection, or order online at milamsmarkets.com.
Come out to the store and take a peek for yourself. It is amazing.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I'm here in the kitchen of my Senora Martinez restaurant in Coral Gables. It was named after me. It's my married name. Come have lunch or dinner Wednesday through Sunday. Now back to another surprising recipe. Here's the big, beautiful finale. When it comes to tin fish, I mean, the one that I think everyone is more familiar with or most is tuna. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a tuna like this, though. So this is a jarred tuna, basically a part of tin fish. However, tonino, which is the tuna that I have here, obviously wild caught because that's all I use. Our friends at Milam's Markets want me to remind you that they do carry this. This is where I bought it. Tonino wild caught whole fillet tuna in glass jars is one of the best quality tunas that you'll ever have. Visit one of Milam's 6 family-owned and operated SoFlo locations or visit them online at milamsmarkets.com. Milam's Markets, Miami's family grocer since 1984. Experience the difference. So there's tuna in water, as always, and tuna in oil, okay? It's up to you which one you want to use. Now, because I'm making a pasta and the only thing I'm using is a little bit of olive oil, I decided to use the one in oil. So I'm just going to strain the oil out of it. And I'm going to try to keep this tuna as whole as possible. Obviously, it has to break up a little bit for the pasta, but I really don't want to break it up too much. So I'm just going to keep it strained like that. I'm also going to use some beautiful fresh tomatoes for my tuna. So let's go ahead and cut those before we jump over to the stove. I'm already cooking the pasta, which is a fun little cut of shaped pasta. that I've decided on. So it's a little bit small, so it should grasp onto the lovely bits that we're putting into this pasta today. You should try to find the, most ripe, juicy tomatoes that you can. These are gorgeous little beef steaks. So I'm not going to cut the tomatoes too big or too small. I want to feel the raw tomato cooked in a little bit of olive oil at the most, but that's it. No tomato sauce in this one. All of the delicious ingredients that go into it, which are very few, should really be the stars of the dish. So when using tuna for pasta, you really want to try to get the best quality tuna that you can. And that's why I head for this. I think that should be enough. Yeah. All right. So I've got my tuna. I'll grab my tomatoes and meet you at the stove. So this is an olive oil based dish. I have a little oil here. I'm going to add just a touch more. We'll start by cooking the garlic and the shallots. And this is a rather fast cook of pasta. Sauce, I should say. Once it's fragrant, which it is, go ahead and add a little bit of caper. I have Aleppo today instead of red crushed chilies. I love Aleppo. Next come the tomatoes. Add a little bit of the starchy cooking water from the pasta. And finally, the tuna goes in. And like I told you, I don't want to break it apart too much. Just going to break it apart just a little bit. Just with the tossing of the dish, it's going to break apart enough that I don't really need to do much more. That's about it. I'm going to go ahead and taste it to see if it needs any more salt. No. The only thing I think it needs is a little lemon. So let's go ahead and squeeze. Maybe just one whole lemon is fine. Finely chopped parsley to finish. And let's go ahead and add the pasta. Make sure you delicately drain your pasta. Not that water is going to ruin this. If anything, it's going to enhance it, makes it creamier. And then, like I told you, I have a beautiful shortcut shape of pasta today. I'm going to gel it gently while the heat is still on it to bring it together. Just toss it together. This tuna is so incredibly delicate. There's nothing fishy about it. It's just meaty and just enhances this dish of pasta. All right, come right back. I'll meet you at the front and we'll see how this baby tastes. I'll finish this recipe right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and our show all about this gorgeous tin fish. It has been so exciting. Everything tastes so good. I mean, I know it's a personal thing. There's nothing I really don't like, but I just think that everything here just made something so yummy and so memorable. So this is my pasta with that Tonino tuna. And look how gorgeous this is. I mean, it really feels like I worked so hard to make this sauce, and it was so simple. You know, that pasta water is really a great thing to use, and this tuna is so meaty and so delicate at the same time as far as flavor goes. It's really wonderful. It smells so yummy. I wish you were all here with me so you could taste it. And I think just the combination of the caper with the tomato and the garlic, it's just so Mediterranean. Okay. And there we have it, everyone. I think this is just beautiful. I'm just going to give it a quick taste, see if it needs anything. Sprinkle of salt. And we did it, everybody. We did it together. Now, I know your weekends are busy, and that's why I greatly appreciate you spending some of your weekend with me on Saturday mornings now at 11 o'clock. So, taste buds, have a great week and open a tin of fish. You know you've got this, right? And you now have great recipes for it. Goodbye, mwah, and such good taste. $11 a.m. Now, don't forget,